Yeah, so he used them all to kill the Britarashura. So when Indra cut his belly open, Britarashura couldn't feel anything, although he was still living, because he fixed his mind in yogic trance. So he was situated in Brahman. He wasn't conscious of the material, his material body. And so as far as he was concerned, Indra was dead, but Indra came out of the body, and then he cut off his head, and Indra got the credit for being victorious, but actually Vritrashura, actually he killed Indra, and he went back to Godhead, so he was a real hero. He got most credit, Vritrashura. He killed his enemy and he went back to Godhead. As far as he was concerned, he killed Indra. So although Vritrashura was a great demon and a great devotee also, he was born in a demoniac family, but he was also a great devotee. He can't remember what I was going to say. Vritrashura, he was a great devotee, and so even though he was in knowledge, he was preaching to Indra, you're not the body, you're not, and it's the Lord is, our providence is the Lord's hand, you must simply do your duty in this world, that's all you can do. And Krishna says you're entitled to do your duty in this world, but you're not entitled to the fruits of your work. So Vritrashura was preaching to him, do your duty. Who knows who's going to win, who's going to lose, we don't know. When you're playing chess, who's going to win, it's the game, we don't know. It's depending on your karma, and it's depending on my karma, and the hand of the Lord, the will of the Lord also. So these are the other deciding factors. It's not just me and my prowess. So Vritrashura was he was in great knowledge, but still he didn't say, I might as well, I'm a great devotee, now I'm in full conscious, let Indra keep his heaven and let me go to the forest and meditate on Krishna. No, he said, I'm here and I'm going to fight, I'm going to finish my business, what I'm supposed to be doing here, and I'm going to fight and I'm going to try my best to kill you. So even both his hands were cut off. Your enemy is useless. If you cut both of his arms off, what can the enemy do? But Vritrashura was so fearless and powerful, Katra, that even his arms, he swallowed him with his big mouth. He swallowed Indra with his mouth. So the Kshatriya spirit remained up to the end. Anyone else would have left the battlefield with no arms. What can you do? So he had that Kshatriya spirit to the very end. I'll fight and become victorious. Prabhupada gave an example of the Gurkhas. The Gurkhas in Nepal. Nepali warriors called the Gurkhas. They have that knife, Gurkha knife, like curved, famous short knife, like a short sword. And they were very, very ferocious fighters in Nepal. The British liked to use these Nepali soldiers. They would take them wherever they needed some brave soldiers. Someone was telling me the other day, they were going to attack one place with the Gurkhas, but they was going to go with the aeroplane. They were going to go to the aeroplane where the place where the battle was going on, and drop them. So they said to everyone, we're going at to this warrior place. Who can, and we're going to go, like whatever it is, height, few hundred feet, or 100 feet, I forget what the figure it was. Who can do that? One or two said. So then I said, okay, so we go at much less age. We're flying at, what was it, 60 feet or something like that. Who can do that? Yeah, they all put up their hands. We can do that. And he said, so 60, we'll go at 60 feet, you'll jump out with your parachutes. They said, oh, parachutes. So we didn't know you meant parachutes as well. We was going to jump out anyway at 60 foot. We don't mind jumping out at 60 foot high from an aeroplane without a parachute. So this is the Kachri spirit. Anyway, Prabhupada was giving an example of once there was a battle with the Gurkhas, maybe the Sikhs or the Sikhs had big long swords, Gurkhas had their short ones. And in the battle, and then the Sikh, he stuck it in the Gurkha, the Nepali. He had a very long sword and he stuck it right in his belly. And so the Gurkha, he had a short sword, but he couldn't reach the Sikh. He had a big long sword, and he was. So then the Gurkha, he grabbed hold of the big long sword and he pulled it forward with the Sikh, and then he cut the Sikh's head off. Prabhupada said this is Kshatriya spirit, right up to the last. Yeah, so Vritrashura had this spirit. He had completely arms cut off, but still he was chasing to kill Indra, and he practically did. He killed Indra. So yeah, so here's the happy ending that the Vritrashura, everybody in the presence of all the demigods and everything, they saw that Vritrashura's soul, the effulgent soul, came out from Vritrashura's body and went back home, back to Godhead. He entered the transcendental world to become an associate of Lord Shankarshana. So, his worshipful Lord was Shankarshan. And in the another story in this canto of Chitraketu, and he laughed at Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was sitting with Parvati Devi on his lap, and there was all these great sages around, and Vritrashura, what's his name? Chitraketu, he come with he was a Gandhava, or maybe not a Gandhava, Vidyahara, maybe a Vidyahara, higher being. They liked singing, and Vidyahara, he was coming and he was surrounded by apsaras and things like that, and they were singing. And then he saw Lord Shiva with Parvati on his lap with all these sages, there were ancient sages there, and four Kumaras, renounced brahmacharis and things like that were there. So he started to laugh, Shiva sitting there, unashamed, he's got his wife sitting on his lap, and there's all these big sages there. And so he started to laugh and criticize more jokingly. And Parvati became really, really angry. And so she cursed him, he'll become a demon. So he actually became Vritrashura. But anyway, his worshipful Lord, Vidhara's worshipful Lord, appears to be Shankarshan also. So he's insulting Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is an expansion of Shankarshan also. So they were like god brothers actually. So sometimes joking between god brothers goes on. It's not a big thing. So here, as Vritrashura, he actually went back home, back to the Vaikuntha planet where
Shankarshan is residing. So he was his worship of our Lord. So that was his great success. But in the purport, the first purport, Prabhupada was pointing out that the devotees of Lord Vishnu may aspire for a position in Vaikuntha like Vitashvara. But a devotee of Krishna never aspires even for the facilities of Vaikuntha. He wants to return back home, back to Goloka Vrindavan, and associate with Lord Krishna in his eternal pastimes. So, here we're talking about the devotees, pure devotees, unalloyed devotees. So Prabhupada's emphasizing on here, on pure unalloyed devotees, like the residents of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani, Gopis, Krishna's father and mother and Krishna's friends, etc. They're all unalloyed devotees, and therefore they get this position to be with Krishna and participate in Krishna's pastimes. And that's all they want to do. It's all so emotional in the spiritual world. It's emotional bliss. It's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Krishna, one moment out of sight. Krishna goes behind the tree, walking, he goes behind the tree, and his friends say, "Where's Krishna?" They faint. Couldn't see him for very long. They fainted. So it's like that. I was hearing some of the Brihat Bhagavatamrita, but they're fainting all the time. And Krishna faints and they faint, and but it's out of a complete, separation or some mood of devotion that makes them. So this is the astonishing feature of Goloka. What Prabhupada terms as pure unalloyed devotees of the Lord. That's where they want to go. They want to be with Krishna. Because this is Krishna's business. Krishna's business, God's business is pleasure. So his greatest pleasure is in Vrindavan. Like this, he's sharing these emotions, constantly changing. It's called Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu we have. What it is, an ocean. An ocean isn't like that, it's like this. It's up and down, constant big waves are coming. So this is bhakti. It's one mood to another. All that Krishna is doing is going through one mood into another, and then out of that into another, and out of that into another. It's all ecstatic moods. That's all that's going on. Yeah. Sometimes with his friends acting as a cowboy, sometimes going, then with the gopis as a lover, then going back home, and with his parents as a child, and he's constantly experiencing day after day for eternality. And it's always increasing, and the devotees' love for Krishna is always increasing. So Prabhupada said this is devotees, they want to go back to Godhead, they want to join that atmosphere that it's all going on under the Haladini potency is. So we want to join that in that potency, that pleasure-giving potency, bringing Krishna pleasure. So this is Krishna's greatest pleasure, Vrindavan. And therefore the unalloyed devotees, they want to worship Krishna in Vrindavan. And the devotees of Vaikuntha, then of Shankarshan, they can go to these different planets where the Lord is residing and serve him as the supreme Narayana, Shankarshana. So that's their relationship with the Lord. So the Lord's arranged this relationship with them that they can have. But this is not actually Krishna's pleasure. It's his devotees' pleasure. Wherever Krishna leaves Vrindavan, he expands out Vasudev, or whatever form he takes. He does so for the pleasure of his devotees. This was the Rath Yatra theme of the Rath Yatra also. Mahaprabhu was revealing in his pulling Jagannath to Vrindavan. So this is Krishna's greatest pleasure. So, as Prabhupada said, the devotees of Krishna, that they want his greatest pleasure. So Krishna's greatest pleasure is in Vrindavan. So they never want Krishna to leave Vrindavan, because that's not his greatest pleasure. And they don't want to interfere with his greatest pleasure, so they never want Krishna to leave Vrindavan.
first Akrura who was trying to take Vrindavan, Krishna out of Vrindavan. So Krishna admits his also in that episode of Rath Yatra, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking to Jagannath as Srimati Radharani, and Jagannath is Krishna. And then Krishna, he replies to Srimati Radharani that, because she's saying, you know, have you forgotten Vrindavan, have you forgotten your cows, what about your mother? So Krishna's saying, no, I haven't forgotten you. I'm always thinking of you. I cry actually every day and night when I'm remembering you. But the only reason I'm here in Dwarka is to bring the members of the Jadu dynasty some happiness. They want to relate to me as their relative. I'm part of the clan of the Jadu dynasty. So naturally they want me to live with them because he's such a great king and everybody knows so they want Krishna to be with them. That's natural. He's a family member. And so Krishna's admitting there that the only reason I'm here is for the pleasure of the Jadu dynasty. It's not for my pleasure. My pleasure is with you in Vrindavan. And the same thing Krishna says to Nanda Maharaj also. Vasudeva. When he's talking to Nanda Maharaj, Krishna has to leave Vrindavan, or the Brajabashis are leaving Vrindavan after Kamsa is killed. And Vasudeva and Devaki, naturally, their son, they want him to stay. They want to give him some education because Krishna never went to school. So they want to look after their child naturally and get him initiated, things like that. Follow the different samskaras. They want to do all these different samskaras for their son. It's natural. So, but Nanda's saying, how can I go back to Vrindavan without you? I promised, I'd take you back. If I go back without you, I'm going to be the object of curses and everything. Why did you leave Krishna in Mathura? Why you didn't bring him back? So Krishna saying, no, Father, Nanda Maharaj, no, Baba, I'm coming back soon. I just have to stay here for a little while they give me my education and things like that. And they want to be with me, so I simply want to stay here to give them some pleasure. But I want to go back with you. And other authorities say Krishna did actually go back with Nanda Maharaj. He did actually go back, but he still left to perform in Mathura, the Vasudeva expansion, to perform his pastimes in Mathura and Dwarka. So again, Krishna was admitting there, no, Father, my only happiness is with you in residence of Vrindavan. And the only reason I'm here is to bring the inhabitants of my devotees in Mathura happiness. So this is Krishna's position. Therefore, he never takes one footstep outside of Vrindavan because that's his greatest happiness. So what devotee would want to take Krishna out of Vrindavan? So when Prabhupada refers to pure unalloyed devotees, this is the devotees who are devotees of Krishna in Vrindavan. And the devotees of Lord Narayan and Shankarshan, they're all pure devotees. They all go back to God, but the unalloyed devotion of Krishna. Unalloyed means they only want Krishna's pleasure. In the Vaikuntha planets, they're also thinking of their own pleasure. We want Krishna's association, which is good. Which is good. But the Brajabashis, they only want Krishna's pleasure. I just saw a billboard in Calcutta. Mother Teresa's, one of her sayings, which I thought was very nice. What did she say? True love is not what is shared, but true love is what is only giving. True love is not what is shared, but true love is only giving. I thought it was very nice. So the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they have that. They just want to give to Krishna. That's all. You may embrace me, or you may make me broken-hearted by not being present before you. You may kick me away. But whatever you do, you are always my worshipful Lord, unconditional. I will always serve you for you. So they only think of Krishna's happiness. not their own happiness. So here, the Prabhupada is pointing out that, so this is the determination of pure devotees. They want to go back home, back to Godhead, to serve Krishna once they've heard the message of Krishna. So this is the benefit of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission here. At this time, he's giving us an opportunity to enter into that Vrindavan taste. Otherwise, not available. Very, very difficult. Very difficult. 500 years ago, before Mahaprabhu's appearance, and Radharani, you don't see Radharani in, you see Krishna deities, you don't see Radharani in practice. So Mahaprabhu come and revealed what is the true devotion of Vrindavan. He's come to experience it, come to taste it, his devotees love him, and to distribute it. So this is Mahaprabhu's mercy. Now we can have an opportunity to understand Krishna. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, if you worship the two-armed form of Krishna, you'll never get four arms. In other words, you won't go back to Vaikuntha if you're worshipping Krishna. So this is who Mahaprabhu has introduced us to, Prabhupada has introduced us to. This Krishna. And yes, so he's encouraging us, Prabhupada's encouraging like anything that in this purport. We want to, these are the highest ambitions of the devotees of Krishna. They want to go back to Godhead. I simply want to return home back to Godhead. So Prabhupada's logo, back home, back to Godhead. Back to home, back to Godhead indicates previously we were there. The very logo of ISKCON. Back to Godhead. Often we hear that devotees say, well, no, pure devotional service means, no, I'll come back and serve you birth after birth. Even Mahaprabhu said, Janmani, Janmanishvai. I don't mind coming back. I don't mind coming back birth after birth. But one time a devotee asked Srila Prabhupada that yes, we want to come back, Prabhupada, and serve you birth after birth after birth. And Prabhupada said, oh, that means I'll have to come back also. And Prabhupada, he wanted us to go back home, back to Godhead. That was his main teaching. And it was very exciting when we heard this news. We'd never heard anything like this before in our lives. Back to Godhead, what goes on in Godhead, and the description of Krishna and his pastime. Far, nobody ever even heard about all these things. So then suddenly we're hearing all these things from Prabhupada, and yeah, you can join it, and you can do it in one lifetime also. That's also unheard of. But Mahaprabhu's mercy is so deep that if we take to this movement, then so that's good. We should. If you have a choice of your next birth, I think then you can have that desire, I want to come back and serve you birth after birth, Krishna. But if you don't have a choice in your next birth, then be very careful about wanting to come back and serve again, because there are 8,400,000 species of life, and it's so easy to get deviated. But if you have that if you're self-realized, and you have the potency to determine your next birth, and it's okay, I guess. But for most, Prabhupada said, yeah, go back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna, thank you. Any comment, question? Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your class. And while commenting, you mentioned that that the demigods were happy to see that Vritrasura had been killed. So it seems that the demigods were not they didn't have the same vision Indra had, because Indra, whatever his consciousness was, still he recognized that Vritrasura was a devotee, but the devas couldn't realize that, it seems to me. Why was that? They didn't have the same vision. Because Indra is the leader of the demigods, but still the demigods didn't have the same vision as Indra.
Maybe they didn't have the same vision as Indra. The members of the Kuru dynasty, they knew Krishna's position, and Krishna was personally there, but still they tried to kill Arjuna. Some of them knew at least that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but still they tried to kill Arjuna. He's a great devotee. Anyway, wherever the Lord is involved like this, it's considered Leela. So the conclusion is that Krishna is ultimately in control of everything. So what can they do? The ultimate decider and factor is Krishna. He is the providence. So then generally they just come back to the point of, let's just do our service, what we're supposed to be doing here, and depend on whether Krishna wants us to win or lose. So this was Krishna's argument with Arjuna all the way through the Bhagavad Gita. Just do your duty. You can't understand everything fully. You can only understand a little bit, and you're making an awful lot of mistakes in your deciding, Arjuna. A lot of mistakes you're making. So you can only understand a little bit that Krishna reveals. So then they always come back to the conclusion, just do your duty. Just do the duty and see what happens. And leave it up to Krishna. But you be fixed on Krishna and do your duty. Whether we're killed or the other side is killed. So no one knows fully how Krishna works. We only know what Krishna can reveal. That more than that we cannot know. So many things Krishna is revealing in Bhagavad Gita. I can be known like this, I can be known like this, I can be known like this. I'm the sun, I'm the moon, I'm the control of the modes of material. He's telling you so many. That much we can understand. More than that we cannot know. Only what God reveals, that much we can know. So something like a battlefield, who's going to know the outcome? As he said, it's like a chess game. And our lives are the stakes. You're going to be serious in the game when your own life is at stake. So who's going to come out victorious? They don't know. So the ultimate, we're all dependent on Krishna. So therefore, under any condition, man mana bhava mad bhakto, just think of Krishna. whether the situation is, whether it's a happy situation or just remember Krishna. It'll always come out successful, Prabhupada said. Padmalochan told me, he heard Prabhupada say, he said, whatever you do, if you remember Krishna, it will always come out successful. Maybe not immediate, but if you're doing something remembering Krishna, eventually it will come out successful. Hare Krishna. Prabhu.
Just a short comment to what you said about what you thought about agriculture. So one time they asked Gandhi, so what do you think about Western culture? And he said, I think it would be a good idea.
It says the further away from India you get, the less the Vedic culture is followed. And you can see in my experience when I've been to America, the further away from India you got, the more toilet rolls appear on the walls. Hare Krishna.
These Bhagavad Katha, they are so instructive that Maharaj Chitraketu, he, in collaboration with the Brahmins, he satisfied Lord Sankarshan, and Lord Sankarshan appeared to him. But he was a Kshatriya, and after that, when he was moving around in his airplane, he saw Lord Shiva, as you described, and he committed offense, but it was done jokingly. So we remember Srila Prabhupada explaining that Krishna told Arjuna that this conduct of yours is not becoming of you as a Kshatriya, and you are implicating me in this adharma. So the Lord, he had to arrange that Chitraketu be, his mentality be corrected. So through Parvati, Chitraketu was cursed. So it means that we have to be very careful. Sometimes we are performing duties, but then we may develop an improper attitude towards other devotees. It's very dangerous, especially Lord Chaitanya would emphasize Vaishnava aparad and how careful we have to be. And Maharaj Chitraketu, he did not, for that time, for that moment, he forgot the exalted position of Lord Shiva. So he was doing his duty, but sometimes, and we may be doing our duty, sometimes we get taken up with duty and we just lapse for a split second and commit offense. So one has to be very alert, and that can only be achieved by the mercy of Guru. Therefore one has to be always taking shelter of Guru, praying and not to commit offense while performing duty. I don't want to belabor the point.
There's a comment, yeah? Thank you. It was, I think it mentions that it was to speed up King Chitraketu. Speed up his going back to Godhead. He was due to go back to Godhead, so the arrangement was made. He would take a birth as a demon. The curse would, he would be cursed, he would take birth as a demon, and then he would go quick back to Godhead. So there was one birth. So the plan was that to get him back to Godhead quickly, more quickly. So then the Leela of Vritrasura, then he went back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Just like to say that Chitraketu was not laughing at Lord Shiva, or he didn't forget Lord Shiva's exalted position. He was laughing at the incongruity of the situation. And Lord Shiva understood that, and all the great sages understood that. And there was one person in the assembly who didn't understand that, and that was Parvati. So it wasn't that he was laughing at Lord Shiva or he forgot his exalted position. He was laughing at the incongruity of the situation.
Thank you. Yeah, no one else complained. And they're all universal sages. You're right. It's showing his complete independence. Thank you. Question?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for a wonderful class. Thank you. I have one question. You told me that even in the transcendental world, the emotion is up and downs, right? Emotions?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it goes up. So, even here in the material world, I get affected by a lot of things happening upside down. Yes? Ups and downs.
Ups and yeah.
Yes. So how can I improve in those situations? How can I not get affected?
Yeah.
Is it okay to just express myself? Like just be truthful? Like, when something happens, just cry? Or just get angry? What? Do you understand my question?
As long as Krishna is there, you can get angry at Krishna because things are not going right. Prabhupada said if you have to blame someone, blame Krishna. Blame Krishna, yeah. Yes. He's the cause of all causes. Not that we become envious or yes, you have to see Krishna's hand in everything. Many years ago, the Madhajis were making flower garlands behind Prabhupada's Vyasasana there. All of a sudden, screaming and crying and fighting. Dr. Tirumara saying, "What's all that sound going on there?" Everyone was screaming and ladies were crying and what's happening? Well, this lady was every day she was making Madhava's garland. And then this other Madhava, she wanted to make it one day. And we said, well, where is it? Already it's, it's someone's savor. She said, oh, but please offer mine. So she got up really early in the morning and she came as soon as the curtains closed. She said, please offer my garland to Krishna. So she offered the garland to Krishna. It was a big garland. And somehow now the other garland came, the regular garland, and it didn't go on. It just went around his feet or something like that. So then there was a big fight and they were crying and screaming and everything like that. It was all about who should make Krishna's garland or not. So when Bhakti Tirumara went down there, what's happening? What's that? Keep quiet, calm down. So then he heard, and then he said, oh, that's okay. Oh, that's okay. They're both fighting to make Krishna's garland. That's fantastic. That's perfection. Everybody wants Krishna is the center here. We both want to make Krishna's garland. Krishna's pleasure is the objective. Somehow or another you have to see Krishna's hand. And ultimately it's always for the good. We can always see. When we see Krishna's hand, we can always see it's for the good. But the ups and downs, the example is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like a Srivas Sangam, then sometimes he's seen dancing in ecstasy of love of Godhead. Tears are falling. Next time he falls down at the feet of devotees. I'm not a devotee. I have no love for Krishna. Please give me love. And he's crying again. And he jumps up and he puts the shalagrams off Srivas Shankar and sits on the altar. I am he. I am he. Another time, he's hanging on the neck of, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? So he's constantly fluctuating. It isn't just one thing. Bhakti is a constant fluctuation. So Mahaprabhu was just going along experiencing one emotion after another. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Prabhupada ki.